What's up, everybody? It's Shermel, Trucking with Shermel. On today's video, we're going to talk about bad days on the road and how I personally deal with them. But before we get too deep in this thing, you already know what to do. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Come join the family. Let's go. On this video, we're going to talk about bad days on the road. What happens when they come, how I personally deal with them, and whatnot. It happens. For me, it happens sometimes, especially if I've been running hard. I get tired, I get wore out, I get just days where I have a lot on my mind. I'm more of a loner type of person, so trucking comes easy for me in that part, but some days even that's not easy, if that makes sense. So you have days like for me where you wake up, not necessarily on the wrong side of the bed. Let's take a night where you didn't really sleep good that night, and then you wake up, you got a full day of driving ahead. Or, you call home and somebody answers the phone differently. What's wrong? Nothing. And then you take something and you sit on it and you ponder on it all day and you make a problem out of nothing and create a bad situation where you in your thoughts. Let's face it, driving these trucks, you got all day to think about stuff. Everything. You can literally cover everything. Things that you shouldn't even be thinking about, that don't even make sense, that ain't even important in that moment, you thinking about. And you take that and you ponder on it, and you sit and you stew on it. And you got a bad day, you done lashed out at somebody. So what I do is, a lot of times I'll get quiet. I'll kind of shelter in. I compare it to like a turtle. And what I mean by that is, a turtle comes out of its shell, it does what it needs to do, then it goes back in its shell. I kind of compare that to that. I kind of get in my shell and kind of deal with it internally. I maybe put some church music on, I maybe listen to some music, some podcasts. Some days I gotta sit in silence. I don't need no noise. I don't need to be on the phone. I don't need to, I just need to take it in, deal with it, internally, release it. Now, I have friends and things like that I can lean on and talk to and whatnot, and that's great. But sometimes you gotta shut it down and deal with it. I always say, feel it. Feel what emotion you're going through. Accept it, acknowledge it. Just don't stay there. Don't allow yourself to stay there for an extended period of time. It's not healthy. It's not good. It's just gonna make a bad thing worse. If I can get out and walk when the weather's nice, I will. I'll clean up the cab of the truck. Spray everything down, wipe it down, spray some air freshener. Things that can help lift my spirits when I'm down out here. Because I do get down out here. I've been doing this job for 14 years. Over 14 years. so I do get down out here, and I have my days where I'm like, there's days where nobody's done nothing to me. I'm just not in a good mood. It happens. I've been like that my whole adult life. Even in high school, I would have days like that where I just kind of stayed to myself and whatnot. So I try to get out, walk if I can, or listen to some music or podcasts, or just read a book. I got some crossword puzzles I do too. I like to do. I don't do those that often, but I do have them back there. And just kind of feel and understand why I'm feeling the way I feel. Sometimes there's a good reason, sometimes it's not. Then the next day I'm kind of like, no, that wasn't a big deal. Or maybe the next day I'm still like, hey man, I still feel the way I feel, Your thoughts will consume you out here, and I spoke on that. Your thoughts will literally consume you out here if you allow it. And it's easier said than done. I'm a prime example of that. It's easier to say, I'm not going to let that bother me, but when you got all day to sit and think, you're driving, a lot of seat time, miles to cover, yeah, you can pick up the phone, talk to people, but when that phone hang up, you still got to deal with whatever's wrong. Like I said, whether it's a major issue or not, whether it's legit or not, it may be legit to you in that moment. And you got to be careful. For me, is one reason I do try to stay to myself is people will invalidate your feelings, man. Oh, you shouldn't feel that way. Well, no, don't tell me how to feel. I know how I feel. And that can make it worse too. So sometimes it's best to deal with it internally. For me, that's how I like to do it. And then when I'm ready to talk about it, I will. Hey, this is what's bothering me, or thanks for listening, or thanks for calling. Hey, do you mind if I vent? And that's something that you got to be mindful of, is asking someone, hey, do you care if I vent? Man, I got a lot on my mind. I just need somebody to talk to. Sorry about that. You don't know what people are going through on their end. So it's unfair to call someone up and just spring that on them, because they may be going through something on their end as well. And so, hey, do you mind if I vent? You got a second? I got some stuff on my mind. Are you able to talk? Are you able to text? Do you have a second? And that gives them the opportunity to say, yeah, it's cool. Yeah, man, what's going on? Call me. Or that gives them the opportunity to say, hey, you know what? I'm kind of going through something myself. Kind of give me a second, or today ain't a good day. That way you're respectful and mindful of other people's feelings as well, and not putting that unnecessary weight on someone, because when they care, they take it on. So whether you give it to them or not, if they love you and they care about you, they're going to take that on anyway, because they care and they know that something's wrong and they can't fix it in the moment. I try to be a problem solver, so when somebody's going through something and I love them and I can't fix it, I know I feel some type of way. But I also understand from my perspective that people need their space to say, hey, this is how maybe I tried to deal with it this way, it didn't work. So, okay, now I'm ready to talk. But I don't want to force them into talking when they really don't want to talk, because I know what that feels like on my end. When I don't want to talk, I don't want to talk. Nobody can force me into that. So that's something to the way I deal with it. Sometimes I gotta sit with it. I gotta just have a bad day. I gotta have 2 bad days. It happens. But I'm like, man, okay, it's been a rough couple days. Okay, I woke up today, I'm starting to feel a little better and whatnot. So let's go ahead and bounce back. Let's get out of it. And I may be cool for a week or 2 or a month, or I may be cool for a day. It doesn't happen often, but it happens. That's why I say you gotta have an outlet outside of these trucks, because when you're over the road and you're gone and you're working, the days start running together. Find you a hobby. Maybe you like to go walking. I see guys with bicycles on the back of their trucks, fishing poles. They want to go fishing. You maybe find you a spot to take your break and go fishing. Get your hotel room. Get your shower. Lay down. Get out of that truck for a second. Those are things that helps you, be able to work through whatever it is and whatever emotion and feelings you're having in that moment. If it's with somebody else, you maybe need to sit on it and then get a level, cool head and say, hey, this is how I feel. This is what's wrong. I don't like this or I don't like that. And then you listen to their feelings and then come up with a solution. There's nothing wrong with that. But don't allow it to eat away at you if you can. You know, and like I said, I'm speaking from experience. I know I will internalize some stuff. But I try to do that to keep from having it come out in a negative way, if that makes sense. So this video came to my mind because today is it hasn't been a bad day for me today, but today has been a day where I'm kind of like blah. It's raining, you know, and whatnot, and just things like that. The weather can affect your mood as well. So it ain't been a terrible day. Nobody's done anything to me. But today is just a day where I'm kind of like, nah, you know, if that makes sense. So the topic came to my mind, and I said, man, I'm gonna get on here and talk about it, you know. So I'm gonna drive, you know, about 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm gonna take me a break, get me a good night's rest tonight, get up in the morning, kick this load off in Nebraska tomorrow afternoon, do this other part of my break, and head back and get ready, you know, for the weekend. So everything will be all right. This is normal for me. I have these days like this where I just kind of got to sit in it and deal with it. And that's why I wanted to talk about it. You know, having a bad day on the road. Having a bad day on the road is different than having a bad day at the house. When you at the house, you got more options. You know, you sit on the couch, watch TV, go hang out with your kids, your family, your loved ones, and get your mind off things. Out here, you almost forced to sit in it, man, because you out here by yourself, you know. And I can't speak on having a teammate or somebody in the truck with you and you're having a bad day, because I've always been a solo driver. So you kind of got to sit in it, deal with it, work through it, and get you some rest. And you may have to tell your friends, hey, listen, okay, this guy put his flashers on. Oh, okay, I don't know what that was about. You may have to sit, you know, tell your friends and loved ones, hey, I'm cool, everything's good, I'm safe. It's just, today is not a good day for me, so, I appreciate you reaching out, but I'm not going to talk today. I'll holler at you tomorrow. Okay, cool. I know you're safe. Thank you for letting me know and whatnot, and let's go from there. There's nothing wrong with that. There's really nothing wrong with that at all. So, that's just kind of how I deal with it. I have to sit in it, work through it, get through it. I'm learning to acknowledge why I feel the way I feel, what led me to that, if it's something major, minor, and that way I'm able to work through it more effectively and not let it consume my thoughts and my mind too much. You know, they say like meditation. The goal of meditation is, it's not to control your thoughts. That's not what it does. It's to stop your thoughts from controlling you. So that, things like that, do you need to breathe? Do you need to get out the truck for a second? What do you need to do to work through it? That's kind of what I go through in my mind. Do I need to sit on it, sleep, or just cut everything off, shut everything down for the day and work through it, quietly, internally, process it. So that's just the quick video that came to my mind, because like I said, it hasn't been a bad day for me. It just hasn't been a great day. Kind of a blah day. Like I said, nobody ain't done nothing to me or anything like that. So yeah, that's the video today. I'm gonna get off here. It's raining. I'm gonna pay attention to everything. So get on down the road. But as always, make sure you ride to your pickup and delivery on time and safely. Storms are kicking up this time of year. Tornadoes, really bad. Make sure you watch the weather. Be careful. Have a plan. We're gonna talk about. We'll make a video about that. I got some videos coming up. A subscriber wanted me to make a video about tanker and movements and just getting everything out there again, and there's nothing wrong with that. So that'll be coming up in the next day or two. If you guys got any video ideas, questions, don't hesitate to ask me, whether in the comments or my email. My email is surmel@yahoo.com. SURMEL@yahoo.com is my email. Email me, comment something. Don't hesitate. If you have questions, concerns, ideas, anything, this is an open channel. We a family, so yeah, don't hesitate. Call your loved ones. Tell them you love them. Love on somebody today. But most importantly, be the reason somebody smiles today. The world needs it now more than ever. Struggle with Surmel. And I'm out. Peace.